Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Today I wanted to cover Bitcoin with you guys and the crypto markets as a whole so we can try to figure out together where we're at in this Bitcoin cycle and crypto market cycle as a whole so we can plan for the future and kind of figure out how much time we have left. A dollar cost average it's a guesstimate basically based off from past indicators and the current indicators that we have to use. And I appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get notifications of future videos. I try to do a variety of different video types to try to cover specific projects and coins, as well as how to prepare for the bull run and where we could possibly be at in the cycle. So I try to get out different types of videos for you guys and not just the same thing over and over. So let's jump into it, guys. All right, so Bitcoin here, as you can see, it's been a little over 30,000 for the past week or so. We got this green candle here. It was down to 25,000, just under actually, and then it jumped up to like 31,000, and then it's just been hovering above 31,000 and kind of made that as support now. So we'll have to see what happens this coming weeks with this, but I wanted to, as we could see, it topped out here around 69,000 the last bull run, and it had actually a double top, which it didn't do in the previous bull market. But there's some things that we can look at here, guys, to kind of plan on what's going on with Bitcoin and where we're at in this whole cycle. I really am following this Wall Street cheat sheet, and I think based on where we're at, I'm thinking we're somewhere right in here. This isn't an exact cheat sheet, it's just kind of like a guide on where the cycles could be based off of emotions in the market. I think we're getting this bullish pump here, like I've been saying, especially with all this talk about these ETFs and stuff. And if we look at Bitcoin in the past, this is the 2017-2018 bull market. It jumped up here to almost 20,000, and then it had a big correction down, and then it came all the way down here. And this was like this December. This would have been like this past December in this cycle, and then it was kind of flat here, and then right around March and April it started picking up all the way into June here in July. And so after July it spiked up quite a bit here all the way to 14,000, and then it slowly was correcting off until the end of the year. But it still stayed above this whole bottom here. But so with this, when Bitcoin came back down like this, these alts were bleeding really hard. So this is still an opportunity if this happens in this current cycle. If we top out around July here or August, and then we come correcting back down towards the end of the year, alts could bleed pretty hard during this if this happens. So we want to try to prepare for this and have money set aside, and have, like I've said in my other videos, have coins picked out for your portfolio that you want to invest in and money ready to buy the dips, and just be prepared for something like that. Now, right around December of the end of 2019 and January, it started picking up again, and then we had the COVID Black Swan event here. So this you can't really go by. It's hard to say what it would have done after this point. It could have kept just coming up and shot up from there. But after this COVID crash, then things started to pick up again. It only took, till about April or May for the market to come back and fully recover from this COVID crash. And then it just shot up like crazy, at the end of 2020. So a lot of this had to do probably with the stimulus package of it shooting up like crazy like this. So we'll have to kind of see what it does in the next bull run. But I think we're probably going to get around, more than likely 80 to 100,000 up to 150,000 for Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to go any higher than that just because of how much market cap it'll take to push. But with all these ETFs and that, it could help out a lot with that. If we look at ETH, now this is what I want to compare the two, and I'm not sure how to overlay these on each other, but we can look at both. So Bitcoin came down after its last bull run in 2017, and then it came up all the way through until July, and then slowly corrected down. So it had almost a 50% pump from its, it got up to actually more than 50%. Its peak on the 2017 bull run was around 20,000, and in this bear market, it got all the way up to like 14,000 before it corrected down about 50%. So with Bitcoin getting up to 69,000, it could potentially, if we look at the chart here, what if it got up to this point here where some of these resistance zones were, what if it got up to like 40,000 or so, even up into some of these parts like 45, 46,000, and then, like in the next month or so, and then came slowly back down for the end of the year. It's hard to really predict what it's going to do, but that's still in the cards, and it still could come up to that point and come back down like it did in 2017 and 2019. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just because we shoot above 35 or 40,000 doesn't necessarily mean that we're in a full-blown bull market and it's going to keep shooting up from there. If we look at the fear and greed index right now, we're at 63%. Yesterday it was at 53. Last week it was at 55. So it's slowly getting up to that bright green zone. And it'd be interesting to see what the fear and greed index was back in 2017. I'm not sure. It does show it here. So if we go back to July of 2019, the fear and greed got up to 60, 72, 78, 76, somewhere in there. So July it got all the way up to 78. So if we start getting up around the 70s in this, and we're already at 63, we could see a possible correction after that. Now these are just guides. They're not, guaranteed indicators, but that's, what we have to use. But again, if we look at ETH in the 2017 bull market, it got up to like 1,400, almost 1,500 here, and then it came correcting back down. And this would have been December after the bull run, like this past December was, when ETH and them last year, at the end of this year, it was down, but then it's been slowly coming up. Now we're right around $1,900 around the end of June and into July. So ETH corrected back down from there towards the end of the year, and it actually got all the way down to like $120, somewhere around there. And its bottom of the market was like right around $75. So we could see some correction on ETH coming up in all the alts as well. The alts are going to bleed harder than this when they have a correction. So we could see some really good deals on some of the alts. So keep that in mind. The possibility is still out there for us to buy at good prices and not just shoot up to the moon. If we look at the rainbow chart for Bitcoin here, we're in this, we're just at this light blue, almost into the green here. So that's the still cheap zone is the green zone. Accumulate is the dark green, and the blue, where we're between the blue and the dark green right now. It's in the buy and accumulate zone. So still the time to accumulate. And basically fire sales the dark blue like we had in November, December. So this is a good indicator for you guys to kind of look at coming up in the next bull run. Like it back in 2019 here, it got all the way up into this yellow zone before it came down into the, darker green and touched the blue here. So that could happen again. We could get up into this green and yellow zone, or even, could get up into the green and yellow zone and then come back down in the green and blue areas, the light green. So kind of keep that in mind, guys, and use this as an indicator. Now, obviously, there's no guarantees of any of this, but I just try to point things out to you guys to kind of get a feel for where you're at in the cycle and what could be coming. I know with a lot of this bullish news of BlackRock and that, we could see higher prices on Bitcoin and crypto in general. But I think once that gets approved, you're probably going to see a moonshot for a little bit. And then my guess is they're going to come out with some kind of FUD to push this price back down, because once they get to actually launch these ETFs, their big Wall Street investors in that are going to want to buy this at a better price than what they're getting it at. And I think what they were hoping to do is try to get this ETF approved while these prices were low, but now the news of it's brought the price back up. So my guess is towards the end of the year, if they get this approved, they're going to have to come up with some kind of FUD on crypto to push the prices back down so they can buy at a better deal. So that's just kind of my guess as to what the plan is going to be for them. But it's all, it's all speculation at this point. I appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. If there's any other video topics that you want me to cover, there's a bunch of them that I could do. I just want to know what my audience is interested in. I would like to do a video of you guys once we get closer to where I think we're in the bull run, on where we should be taking our profits at and things that you're going to need to prepare for the bull run once we probably get up into like the yellow zone on the rainbow chart. I don't want to put some of that information out there now because it's not going to be too useful right now, and you most likely forget it by then. So I try to do these based on where we're at in the cycle, or where at least where we think we're at. So that's the best we can do. But I appreciate, guys, I appreciate if you like this video. It helps get the video out there in the algorithm for YouTube, and my channel is at over 700 subscribers now. Thanks to you guys, I really appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, I really appreciate if you would subscribe. And I'm going to do a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers. Right now I'm thinking about giving away one quant and like another $100 of any crypto of your choice, your favorite crypto. Just wanted to get that idea thrown out there for you guys to get feedback on that. You can put that in the comments below and what you think of that, and let me know where you think we're at in the cycle as well. Any kind of feedback from you guys is greatly appreciated. I do have the free Telegram as well, and I do have a Twitter. I'll try to make sure the link is in the video description. I'm not sure. I don't think it is currently. I'll try to add it there if you guys want to follow me on Twitter. I don't use it that much, but it is basically the crypto hub is Twitter. I don't use it for my this channel that much, but I use my personal one all the time. But for this channel, I don't do a lot of posting on there because I've heard that sharing YouTube videos isn't really liked by the Twitter algorithm, is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do post on there somewhat, and I do follow a lot of crypto and what's going on with it on Twitter as well. So feel free to follow me on there. But that's all I've got for this video, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me, tell me, tell me.